The Fort Wayne Animal Care and Control is a public safety shelter focusing on rescue, education, pet adoption, and lost and found services. Joining me today is their Public Information Officer, Abigail Reyes. Hi, Abigail.
Hi, how are you?
Good, doing well, thank you. Thanks so much for coming in.
Thanks for having me. I
Yes,
appreciate it.
absolutely. So let's start off by you sharing with us about the program that you all offer.
Yeah, so we offer actually a variety of programs. I actually oversee the education department, so that's one of the departments we oversee. We also have a volunteer program, and that's also tied with our foster program, which we will talk about here shortly. And it's all volunteer based, and honestly, we are so grateful and appreciative of all of our volunteers and all of our foster volunteers, just because they are the reasons that our building is growing and moving forward, and they help us a lot with our animals.
Yes, and so through the animal care and control, you all do a lot. I mean, from the rescuing, like I said, lost and found. I mean, what is the biggest service that you all provide?
Wow. I would say one of the biggest services that we definitely offer is our animal care officers, just because, they're one of the first ones that, talk to the public whenever, the public or the community sees someone out in the field. Our officers are there. They often provide the information to anyone that calls, including our dispatchers. When they give us a call to our facility, our dispatchers are able to give them as much information as they can. Same way with our officers. They give them all the information, all the needs that they can, whether it's to help them keep their animal in the home or what we can do to prevent their animals from escaping.
Okay, so that's really cool. So a resource for people who already have animals, but you also just provide that security for animals that may be out in the public. So I always think about like, oh, the cat that's in the tree, and the rescuing and those who may need a home as well that may be stranded or abandoned or just a stray animal. You all take them in as well.
Yes, so because we are an open shelter, we are not able to refuse any animal that comes to us. So that can be as small as a squirrel or a wildlife, such as recently we had a goat, 4 goats a couple weeks ago. And we had 4 goats. They were just out in the field. And so thankfully we had our community who even helped our animal care officer to get them to our facility. So because of our open public shelter, we don't refuse any animal that comes in, but it's so much fun to see the different types of animals that come to us and that we're able to help.
Yes, that's so funny. Goats. Who would have known?
Yeah, there were just 4 goats out there. And so it was so great it was just when I heard this story, I'm like, we have goats in the building.
Right.
And so it was really cool to see them.
And so let's talk a little bit deeper about the programs that you offer. So you offer an adoption program and a foster care program, which is so cool. So people can actually take pets into their home for a limited time to foster them like they would a child. So share more with us about that.
Yeah, so our adoption program, it's actually such a great program and I love it. And it's like, like you said, when they foster kids, they're helping keeping our animals alive because, the shelter, we provide as much as we can. We try to help our animals to feel very, comfortable, but, with everything that goes on with the different sounds, different smells, the different interactions, oftentimes that can lead to anxiety and stress of an animal, especially our smaller ones. So we often encourage, our community to become fosters, just so that they can help our animals stay alive. For example, if we were to have a pregnant cat, obviously, having her in the shelter would not be the most best thing for her because, you want them comfortable, you want them to feel secure, especially knowing that, they're about to have their kittens. It's like, she's gonna probably go into mama mode and just this is not okay.
Right.
So we often ask, and encourage the community to become fosters, because it will just help keep our animals alive.
That's such an interesting point that I never thought about. Just the fact that if they're in the shelter, there's so much traffic of animals coming in and out. They can't fully get acclimated or feel like home. And they deserve a temporary home as well, and the love and the care of the owner that's going to take care of them. And your program is so cool because you all actually provide the resources for the foster parents so that, and you brought here this kit. And so you provide the food and the ongoing medical treatment. So share more about that.
We do. So anyone who becomes a foster, we we just provide all the resource, all the supplies, such as, the food, the kitty litter. We have them set up appointments with us every 2 weeks, and they just come in, do their daily checks, so they'll do either their shots, whatever vaccine that they need, so they do all of that. And the best part is that, they can take breaks. Foster parents can take breaks. So it's like you can foster a whole kitty litter and then just be like, okay, I need a little break now. And we're totally okay with it, which is one of the reasons the more, the merrier for us, of having fosters.
I like that. So super flexible.
Yes.
So, you can commit to it and serve, but you also have some areas that you can kind of shift around, especially if you go on vacation or, like you said, need a break. So share with us about April, which is kitten season.
Yes. April is it is known as kitten season for a lot of the shelters. And what it is, it's because, the weather's warming up and, now cats are going out, they're getting to know one another. And then we just see a lot of kittens appearing in the shelter. So that's why we really encourage people to become fosters, because it helps, animals to get that love that, before being released as being part of the adoption, because they have to be at least 8 weeks before they can be adopted, or they have to be more than 2 pounds. So yeah, April is known as our kitten season. So we get a lot of kittens in the shelter, our numbers go up, and that's why we also ask the community for donations in items or funding us, because all of that is what helps cover the resource to help our foster families.
Okay, that's awesome. And if someone wants to donate or volunteer to be a foster, how do they do that process?
So to donate, they can go on our website at FWACC.org, and they would just click under donations, donating, and they can see that. But if they do want to become a foster family, there is an application online that they would go through, and if once approved, then our coordinator Emily would speak to them and they would just get in touch. She would go over the program with them. She'll talk about all the checklists, and that's one of the great things about our coordinators is that they actually provide a checklist and a timeline of what to expect, what to see, and what to keep an eye on for any animal that they were to foster.
Okay. That's so great. Thank you so much, Abigail, for coming in and sharing about this. Appreciate it. This sounds like an amazing opportunity for those who are interested in becoming a foster parent to a pet or testing out if you even want an animal. We'll have more information about the Fort Wayne Animal Care and Control listed below, and we'll be right back.